On September 16, 1932, Peg Entwistle told her uncle that she was going to see some friends. But when she left, she made her way to the most famous landmark in Los Angeles, the Hollywood sign, or during that time, the Hollywood Land sign. She climbed a maintenance ladder to the top of the H. It was the last time she would see such a view of the city because, moments later, Entwistle jumped to her death. She was just 24. The Tragedy of Peg Entwistle highlights why Hollywood, or rather Los Angeles, has been called the City of Broken Dreams, as well as the City of Angels. The allure of success and stardom was strong enough to convince people to move here in droves during the 20th century. Everyone had the same goal, to see their name emblazoned on the marquee and to have the neon lights shine on them. A few attained that dream and became legends. Most didn't. If anyone could be a poster child for what happens when a person's hopes are utterly crushed, it's Peg Entwistle. Entwistle was born in 1908 in Wales but came to America in 1913, settling in New York City with her father, Robert Entwistle. Her mother had died when she was young. Her father likely inspired her love for acting. He had appeared in several Broadway plays and as a stage manager. Unfortunately, Robert died at 50, which left his only daughter in the care of her uncle, Charles Harold Entwistle, who was also involved in show business, namely as a manager. In her youth, Peg, who was born Millicent Lillian Entwistle, shared the same love for the stage her father and uncle had. One of her uncle's clients, Walter Hampton, gave her one of her first parts, an uncredited walk-on role in a production of Hamlet which starred Ethel Barrymore, grandaunt of Drew Barrymore. When she was 17, she had a role in a production of Henrik Ibsen's The Wild Duck. She played Hedvig, a role that a young Bette Davis saw. In her biography, Davis cited Entwistle as her inspiration for wanting to become an actress. Entwistle was a prolific Broadway star, performing in 10 plays over 6 years, including 232 performances of Tommy, her longest-running play. Her acting had won her critical acclaim, with reviewers praising her performance even in otherwise forgettable plays. In 1932, America was in the throes of the Great Depression. Unable to find work in New York, Entwistle moved to LA, playing a role in Romney Brent's The Mad Hopes, which ran for 2 weeks in the city and in which she acted alongside Humphrey Bogart. The play and Entwistle earned positive reviews. It's safe to say that as an actress, she had great talent. Obviously, others saw it too. After the play closed out, she won her first and only credited film role in 13 Women. The movie was produced by David O. Selznick and distributed by RKO Pictures, both Hollywood powerhouses. During this time, actors would sign deals with studios. They would agree to work for the studio for a certain number of years and appear in a certain number of movies. This limited their roles because they couldn't work for other studios, but it also gave them a secure line of work in an otherwise troubling time. However, 13 Women was poorly received and failed to make any money. Worse, Peg's role was cut from 16 minutes to 4 minutes. RKO terminated their contract with her, sending Entwistle into depression. She had no money, she had no roles, she had no plan. It was the wrong mixture at the worst time. She, like so many others, had come to find fame in Hollywood. For a moment, it seemed like it was within her grasp, only to be torn away at the last moment. It was too much for her. Entwistle left her uncle's home and climbed the maintenance ladder to the top of the H and took the plunge. Her purse, jacket, and a shoe were found by a woman that was hiking in the area. In the purse was Entwistle's suicide note, which the hiker delivered to the LAPD. Police would find her body in a ravine, and she was identified by her uncle. Her death was a media sensation, making news across the country. We can't know what was going through her mind that night. All we do know is that she fell and ended what, based on her performance in plays, could have been a long career. Instead, she found fame in the worst way. In the 91 years since her suicide, she became a Hollywood legend. If only she had lived to experience some of that joy for herself. Now, this video isn't and wasn't meant to be demonization of the entertainment industry or why you shouldn't try to be ambitious. You most certainly should, whatever industry you want to break into. Rather, it's about perspective. Just because you lose an opportunity, it doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. Opportunities will keep coming your way so long as you put yourself out there. I hope your story turns out a lot better, and I really hope that you achieve whatever it is that you want.